guys, Matt here, and today we're taking a look at the MVP Entropy. I've got one in this slime green Neutron Plastic, and I checked it out on a couple different local courses at Oregon Park on a mix of the silver and gold course, as well as today at Etowah. And Entropy is an interesting name for a disc, especially since this is an overstable approach disc. The numbers on this one are 4303, similar to something like a zone or a harp. And entropy is defined as in engineering, the amount of unpredictability in any given equation or a gradual descent into disorder. And really, an overstable approach just like this is designed to bring some order to your game, some predictability. And this one, if you give a look at that profile, it's not that different to something like a harp or a zone. It's a little bit more sloped at the top, which makes it a little bit less overstable than either one of those in my opinion, but it's definitely not an understable disc. It's still got some good beef. It's a little bit deeper than my ideal forehand disc, but for the backhands, it feels really interesting. You see there's a lot of core sticking out from underneath the overmold there. So it's not beaded, but that almost gives it like a slightly beaded feel. And overall, in a backhand power grip, it's really nice. And for forehand, it did okay. Let you guys check out the throws at both parks. Hopefully you can learn something and check this guy out yourself.
So I'm starting out here at Oregon Park on a hole 1 silver, giving it a nice flat shot to the right of the basket, gets down there to the right side of circle 1, nice spot there. On silver hole 2, it's about 220 uphill here. And it holds the line well, but it does not fade as much as I thought it would, so it's kind of circle's edge left. On 14, we're trying to pipe it down this little gap here. And it skips a little bit left there at the end, but good spot. On 16, going on a slight hyzer out to the right, trying to get around that branch. It does pretty much what I want it to, but it faded quicker than I thought it would. 17, downhill shot, not giving it a whole lot. Skips down there, circle's edge, a little short. Moving over to Etowah, this one's about 270, slight downhill. Put it right at the front edge of circle 1. Over to hole 9, we're throwing across this little valley here. Holds that forehand line really well. It hits a tree at the end, but you can kind of see it stick at the edge of the hill. 11, doing a spike hyzer down the hill here. Got a little bit too inside, but it hits that late tree and ends up sticking near the green. On hole 20, we're just trying to get inside that ring of buoys there. Nice little forehand right in the gap. Works out okay.
So as you can see, throwing backhand with it, it holds a straight line for a long time and then has kind of a cooking fade where it dies out pretty quick. It doesn't stay in the air during its fade for a lot because of the relatively low glide, that 3 glide. And then on a forehand, it actually would, if thrown flat, it would turn a bit and then kind of just plop down with a real short fade. Or if I give it a little bit more air, it would hold up and then kind of dive right, but it doesn't have enough glide to really make it sweep. So like something like a zone or A2 would. It's more of an abrupt fade induced by the less glide of a disc like this. So overall, I like it. It's cool. It does not throw quite like that slot I prefer. It either needs to be a little bit more or less overstable for me to really dig it. So I throw the Envy for this slot for backhands. I throw the A2 for forehands. It's a little shallower, a little sharper. You get more penetration, and it's a lot more overstable on the fade side. And then the Envy, you know what the Envy does. It penetrates straight for a really long time, doesn't fade that much, doesn't turn that much unless you get one really beat in. So overall, I like it. Probably won't bag it, but I do think it's a great effort from MVP and very cool to see them branching out into more overstable distance. For a long time, their putter lineup has been lacking something that had very much fade at all, really. They had a nice selection of straight discs to even slightly understable with things like the spin, but Nothing that would fade too much for you until this one. So good job to those guys. A lot of fun to throw. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.